Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Bhakta Vrindo,
Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda,
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda,
Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda,
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda,
श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय।
Jai
श्रील कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी की जय।
Jai
श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
Jai
समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय।
Jai
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा
Krishna
कृष्णा
Krishna,
हरे हरे
Hare Hare,
हरे
Hare
राम
Rama, Hare
राम
Rama,
राम
Rama
हरे
Rama,
हरे।
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to today's Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita reading. We started reading chapter 3 of the Madhya Leela. So, this is after Mahaprabhu's uh, acceptance of sannyas. So, what did we read so far? First is the author's offering prayers to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then we read at the end of his 24th year, in the month of Magh, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted the sannyas order during the waxing period of the moon. Right? That was Makar Sankranti day. After accepting the sannyas order, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, out of intense love for Krishna, started for Vrindavan. However, he mistakenly wandered about in a trance continuously for 3 days in the tract of land known as Radhadesh. So there we also saw Radhadesh is actually Apabhransha of Rashtra Desh. And also it's also called Purandar Desh, right? That means the capital is Purandar, so it's called Purandar Desh. So Radhadesh. So Mahaprabhu, after taking sannyas for 3 days, he just wandered in that particular province, Radhadesh. Passing through the tract of land known as Radhadesh, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recited the following verse in ecstasy. So this is what we were reading. What is this verse? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is reciting a verse which was sung or spoken by the Avanti Brahman, about whom we read in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, what is that verse? I shall cross over the insurmountable ocean of nations by being firmly fixed in the service of the lotus feet of Krishna. Yes. This was approved by the previous acharyas who were fixed in firm devotion to the Lord, Paramatma, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that is what we were reading, that Mahaprabhu has accepted sannyas, and that too from the Mayavad school, Advaita school. That was the sannyas that was prevalent at that time. And uh, and the idea in Advaita school of sannyas is when you take sannyas, you have become liberated. So we discuss the details, what exactly happens in various stages of the Jnana Marga. It's not that as soon as you take sannyas, you're liberated. Um, but of course, it is possible that one remains in the Grihastha ashram until he comes to the stage of liberation. And while in the Grihastha ashram, he keeps practicing um, jnana sadhanas, and he goes through various stages of he progresses from one stage to another while he's still a grihastha, and actually that is what is recommended by Lord Krishna in the 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, karma sannyas. So first Jitendriya, then Vijitatma, and finally Vishuddhatma. So he can come to that stage. Vishuddhatma means now, he's just prior to, he has realized Brahman, and he's just before the Brahmabhuta stage, right? That is the last stage where before, from Brahmabhuta, you just go and merge into Brahman. So he can accept sannyas at that stage also. So if one accepts sannyas, and if he's thinking that now I have become the supreme, because Mahaprabhu took sannyas from such school, Mahaprabhu is making a point by singing this particular verse. Nowhere does he say that now I will become one with the supreme, or I have become one with the supreme. Rather, I will be able to cross over this ocean of um, nations, ignorance, by firmly taking shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. And this is not just my opinion, this is the opinion of all the previous acharyas. So, this verse Mahaprabhu was reciting again and again just after taking sannyas. So, that is the significance, especially when someone newly takes sannyas, he is, he feels, I'm saying from Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's words, right? He becomes proud that, now I have become liberated, like that. So it can be a big, great obstacle on the path of bhakti, that pride. So Mahaprabhu, right in the beginning, right after taking sannyas, is reciting this verse. I'm not going to be liberated because I have taken sannyas, because I have renounced this world, I'm so detached. No. Now I will firmly take shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna, and by that, by taking firmly shelter of Krishna's lotus feet, I'm going to be able to cross this ocean of nations. That is the significance. So Mahaprabhu is saying this. So we didn't read the purport fully. We'll read the purport. So I shall cross over the insurmountable ocean of nations by being firmly fixed in the service of the lotus feet of Krishna. This was approved by the previous acharyas who were fixed in firm devotion to the Lord Paramatma, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. In connection with this verse, which is a quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 23rd chapter, 7. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that of the 64 items required for rendering devotional service, acceptance of the symbolic marks of sannyas is a regulative principle. If one accepts the sannyas order, his main business is to devote his life completely to the service of Mukunda Krishna. Mukunda Krishna. So this is actually Vaishnav sannyas, right? Vaishnava, what is the idea of Vaishnav sannyas? As soon as you take sannyas, now you have no other obligation to anything else. Completely, 100%, whether it is your body, your mind, or your words, it's completely for the service of Krishna. This is called sannyas. And this type of sannyas, according to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, is essential uh, for pure devotional service. Okay, that means again elsewhere also we read, or here only we read, anashritah karma phalam karyam karma karoti yaha sa sannyasi cha yogi cha na niragnirna chakriyah. That means who is a real sannyasi? Not simply accepting the dress, saffron clothes, and accepting a danda. That is not a sannyasi. Sannyasi means one who has given up his attachment to the fruits of his activities. Right? He doesn't take any credit for what he has done. Anashritaha karma phalam. He doesn't take shelter of the results of his work. I have done this or I have done that. This is actually a sannyasi, and this consciousness is required for one to render pure devotional service. The dress is not sannyas, but the attitude of service to Krishna is sannyas. The word paratmanishta means, okay, that's part of the shloka here. Paratmanishtam, nishtam, right? So the verse was etam sa asthaya paratmanishtam adhyasitam purvatamair mahadbihi aham tarishyami durantaparam tamo mukundangri nishevayaiva. So what is paratmanishtam? The word Paratmanishtha means being a devotee of Lord Krishna. Paratma, para, atma. Para means transcendent, Paratma, or above, right? The supreme person, like you say Paramatma, Paramatma, like that. Paratma means the supreme person. Paratma, the supreme person, is Krishna. Ishwaraha Paramaha Krishnaha. Satchid Ananda Vigraha. Those who are completely dedicated to the lotus feet of Krishna in service are actually sannyasis. So, who is a real sannyasi? Somebody who's wearing a saffron, simply wearing a saffron, but he's still attached to the results of his work? No. But someone who may not be wearing a saffron, but he's completely dedicated to the service of the lotus feet of Krishna, he's actually a sannyasi, regardless of whether he wears saffron or not. Anashritah karma phalam. He doesn't take anything for himself. He does not expect anything for himself. Everything is for Krishna's service. As a matter of formality, the devotee accepts the sannyas dress as previous acharyas did. He also accepts the three dandas. Later, Vishnu Swami considered that accepting the dress of a tridandi was paratmanishtha. Okay, so you have four Pramanika Vaishnava Sampradayas, right? Bona fide Vaishnava Sampradayas. So, Rudra Sampradaya, the Acharya for Rudra Sampradaya, the first Acharya for, or the prominent Acharya of Rudra Sampradaya is Vishnu Swami. So, Vishnu Swami considered that accepting the dress of a Tridandi sannyas is Paratmanishta. What is Paratmanishta? Paratmanishta means you're completely dedicated to the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is Paratmanishta. So, if anyone accepts Tridandi sannyas means what? Ekadanda is what they accept in Advaita school. Tridandi sannyas, Tridanda means what? Your body, your mind, and your words are completely now, they belong to the Lord. You have given up everything to the Lord. Now they are not yours. Your body, you don't have to worry about how you'll maintain your body, or your mind is not yours. You cannot make any plans. Whatever are the functions of the mind, whatever are the functions of the body, and whatever is the function of your words, it all belongs to the Lord. It's not yours anymore. This is Tridandi Sannyas. So if anyone accepts Tridandi Sannyas, then according to Srila Vishnu Swami, that itself is a sign of Paratmanishta, complete dedication to the Supreme Lord. Paratmanishta. Okay. So, of course, so Vishnu Swami means Vaishnava Sannyasi, right? Considered that Tridandi was Paratmanishta. Therefore, sincere devotees add another danda, the Jiva danda, to the three existing dandas. So there's three dandas, your body, mind, and words, and they add one more. Those who are sincere devotees, they add one more danda called Jiva danda. That means my body, my mind, and words is what? That's your body, right? Your gross and subtle bodies. But even the living entity himself. So they also offer the Jiva danda. Why? Why? Because you see, in Advaita school, there is no distinction between the Jiva or the Atma and Paramatma, the soul and the super soul. There's no distinction. It is all one, it is all Brahman. Just like they say, actually, it is all sky everywhere. And now, if you have a pot, temporarily that eternal sky is covered by some boundary, the covering of that pot, right? The walls of the pot. So there is also sky inside the pot. So their idea is, now you may say this is a different sky, the sky of the pot, and then there is the sky which is outside. But this is actually your illusion. There's nothing like sky in the pot and sky outside. There's only one sky. Because this pot is there, you see that there is sky in the pot, but this pot will break. When the pot breaks, then this sky, that sky is all one. That's their philosophy. So this sky inside the pot is the Jivatma, according to them, the living entity, individual living entity, or we think so. We think that it's an individual living entity. Actually, it is the same Brahman. That Brahman is now covered by this, right? This material body, and this material body is made of avidya. Avidya means ignorance, and avidya is made of the modes of passion and ignorance. And when this avidya is destroyed, then this and that is same. There's no distinction between jivatma and paramatma. This is ekadanda sannyas. I am one with him, right? Tatvam asi. Tat means that which I don't see, Brahman. Tvam means you, what I'm seeing in front of me, you, and that tatvam Tattvamasi. That means you are that. This is called uh, Tattvam Aikya Jnanam. Right? It's one. Both are one. That's their philosophy. So, uh, what do Tridanda sannyasis do? They have three dandas. What are they? Body, mind, and words. I'm dedicated to the service of the Lord. But this, even a Mayavad sannyas can say, now I have a body, mind, and words. Because I have this covering. So there is gross body, there is subtle body. So gross body, and then which has the hands, legs, and everything, and my mouth which is talking. So yesterday, like in Bhagavatam, or this morning Bhagavatam class, we were reading, right? You have working senses, you have knowledge acquiring senses. This body is made up of these things: working senses, knowledge acquiring senses. So amongst the working senses, you have the mouth with which you talk. So I'm offering this body in the service, and also my mind, the subtle body, the mind also I'm offering in the service. But once all this falls, then I'm one with him. You can say that or not, right? So that is why those who are actually Tridanda sannyasis, along with these three dandas, I'm offering my body, mind, and words. They also offer a Jiva danda. Jiva means the living entity itself is your servant. It is in your service. My body, mind, and words, and myself, the living entity, is your servant. We are all in your service. Like that. It's not mine, it's yours. That's why those who are sincere devotees, sannyasis, Tridanda sannyasis, along with three dandas, they add one more danda. That means they maintain their individuality. I am separate from you. I am a living entity. I am not you. And my relationship with you is I am your servant. Right. So, Vishnu Swami says, Srila Vishnu Swami says, Paratma Nishta. Accepting of Tridandi is Paratma Nishta. So, any sincere devotee will add another danda, Jiva danda, to the three existing dandas. The Vaishnava sannyasi is known as Tridandi sannyasi. The Mayavadi sannyasi accepts only one danda, not understanding the meaning of Tridanda. Later, many persons in the community of Shiva Swami, Shiva Swami. Okay, there's a community of followers of Shiva Swami. So those persons gave up the Atmanishtha. Atmanishtha. So that's Paratmanishtha, I guess. Atmanishtha or devotional service of the Lord, and followed the path of Shankaracharya. So this must be coming in the line of Vishnu Swami. Okay, because Vishnu Swami said that you must acceptance of Tridanda sannyas is Paratmanishtha. That means when you become a sannyasi, You are completely dedicated to the service of the Lord. That means you render devotional service. Srila Prabhupada is saying later, uh, many persons in the community of Shiva Swami, they gave up this devotional service to the Lord. Sannyasis, right? They gave up devotional service of the Lord and followed the path of Shankaracharya. So that's a different school. These four Vaishnava Sampradayas, they're Vaishnavas, devotees. Advaita philosophy by Shankaracharya, that's Mayavad school. It's not a Vaishnava school. So the Vaishnava sannyasis from this community, many of them, started following the path of Shankaracharya. Instead of accepting 108 names, those in the Shivaswami Sampradaya follow the path of Shankaracharya and accept the 10 names of sannyas. Yeah. So I'm not exactly clear about this. Instead of accepting 108 names, those in the Shivaswami Sampradaya follow the path of Shankaracharya and accept the 10 names of sannyas. Although Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted, okay. So, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's, there are sannyas also, you have different titles and different sects, groups. And there's also a gradation who is more, higher and who is not so advanced like that. For example, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas from where? From Bharati line, right? Keshava Bharati. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted sannyas from Bharati. So he would also get that title, Bharati. So in Advaita school, so it's not that in Vaishnava school they didn't take sannyas, there was, but it was not so prominent in society. They had sannyas. But Advaita, at that time in society, Advaita school or Shankaracharya's sannyas was very prominent. So even Vaishnava sannyasis, they started following the path of Shankaracharya. Vaishnava sannyasis means, particularly here we are talking about this school of Shiva Swami. Their followers started following Shankaracharya's path. So what did they do? Instead of the 108 names, traditional names of Vaishnava sannyasis, they accepted the 10 sannyas names followed by Shankaracharya. Okay. Although Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted the then existing order of sannyas, see, at that time this was only prevalent in society. So, although Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted the then existing order of sannyas, namely Ekadanda, he still recited a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam about the Tridanda sannyas accepted by the Brahmana of Avantipur. So, you see the significance? Even though Mahaprabhu accepted sannyas from Advaita school, which was prevalent at that time, which was available, which was the only thing available at that time. But still, he did not accept their philosophy that now I have become one with the Supreme. Rather, he maintained the Tridanda Sannyas attitude. How do we know? By his reciting of this verse of Avanti Brahmana, where he's saying, by taking full shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna, I'm going to cross this ocean of nations. Indirectly, by reciting this verse, what is the statement that Mahaprabhu is making? Indirectly, he declared that within that Ekadanda means one danda, four dandas existed as one. So even when we see our sannyasis in ISKCON, you don't see them carrying four dandas. You see only one danda, but inside, like it's wrapped with the saffron cloth. But inside that danda, there are four dandas put together. Three dandas for body, mind, and words, and the fourth one, Jiva danda. So even though it looks one, actually inside that one there are four. So when Mahaprabhu was awarded Ekadanda, Mahaprabhu, by reciting this verse, he is indirectly declaring to everyone that inside this Ekadanda, four dandas existed as one. Accepting Ekadanda sannyas without Paratma Nishtha. What is Paratma Nishtha? Paratma Nishta means my body, mind, words, and myself, right? The living entity are completely, they don't belong to me, they belong to the Supreme Lord. They are meant for the service of the Supreme Lord. So, accepting Ekadanda Sannyas without Paratma Nishta, devotional service to Lord Krishna, is not acceptable to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yes. Without devotional service, what is the use of this sannyas? To become one with the Supreme, what is this? He is not interested. He cannot accept it. It is not acceptable. Ekadanda sannyas only when it includes Paratma Nishtha, devotional service, complete surrender to the Supreme Lord. Without that, Ekadanda sannyas is not acceptable to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even though he was awarded that Ekadanda sannyas. In addition, according to the exact regulative principles, one should add the Jiva Danda to the Tridanda. Yeah, it's not just that, just to make this point, this was introduced later that you add Jiva Danda. No, if you are actually exactly following the regulative principles, it is required that one add this Jiva Danda to the Tridanda. These four dandas bound together as one are symbolic of unalloyed devotional service to the Lord. Yes. So what does it mean? When you see a sannyasi carrying a danda, how many dandas are there inside? Four dandas are there, right? And what do they mean? What is the significance of this danda? This danda is a symbol of that sannyasi's unalloyed devotional service to the Lord. So that is what Vishnu Swami had said also. Acceptance of Tridanda is a symbol of Paratmanishta or unalloyed devotional service. So when you see anyone carrying four dandas, of course you won't see four, you will see one, but inside that there will be four. Then you should understand that this is a symbol of unalloyed devotional service to the Lord. Because the Ekadandi sannyasis of the Mayavad school are not devoted to the service of Krishna, they try to merge into the Brahman effulgence. Yes. So what is Ekadanda sannyas? It's not about dedication to the Lord. Even if they do, it's not that don't think that in Mayavadi schools they don't worship. They worship. They have a deity of Lord Vishnu. They perform arati. They may be even studying Bhagavatam and everything, but their conclusions are different. What is their conclusion? Because they understand that there is only one Brahman, right? There's only Brahman. Right now, I am separated from that Brahman. I'm separated means I'm covered Brahman. Okay? Not that I'm separated, sorry. I'm covered Brahman. Like I gave you the example of the pot. Then what is their explanation of Lord Vishnu, Lord Ramchandra, Lord Krishna? What is their explanation? And why are they worshipping? If I am Brahman and he is also Brahman, we are equal, isn't it? Why should they worship? Their explanation is Chaitanyam. Chaitanyam means that Chaitana Padartha, that conscious being. Who is that? Brahman. Okay, their understanding. Chaitanyam. Vidyavachinna Chaitanyam. Okay, Vidyavachinna Chaitanya means Vidya, as I said, my body is made of avidya, ignorance. But this is Mayavad philosophy. Lord Vishnu's body is made up of Vidya. Vidya is made of the mode of goodness. Avidya is made of passion and ignorance. So goodness is better than passion and ignorance, isn't it? So for me to come out of this passion and ignorance, for me to get rid of this avidya, I am worshipping that Brahman who is in Vidya, who's covered by Vidya. And then I will also be covered by Vidya. My avidya will be removed and I will be covered with Vidya. But Vidya is also material. Even though it is the mode of goodness, it is still material. You have to transcend the whole material world and all the material plane, the whole entire material plane. That means goodness, passion, ignorance. You have to transcend all three. So at one point, just before merging into Brahman, they have to even leave behind this covering of Vidya. Therefore, Their understanding is even the body of Lord Vishnu, Lord Ramchandra, Lord Krishna, Nrsingadev, their body is also material. Even though it is better than mine, because mine is avidya, his is vidya, but that is also material. And for ultimate liberation of going and merging into that Brahman, becoming one with Brahman, you have to shed everything material. So even the body of Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva, Lord Krishna, everyone's body has to be dropped. That's their understanding. So just see such a hypocritical way of worship. So Srila Prabhupada gives this example, uh, like you want to climb a wall, or you want to cross a wall. Okay, climb a wall. So what do? You take the help of a ladder, right? You use the ladder, top, you kick the ladder, like that. So they are taking help of Lord Vishnu to climb, and once they go to the top, oh, now I'm the supreme, get rid of this. What type of worship is this, and what type of, tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena, where is that surrender there? Right? My whole idea is now I will bow down before you, now I will worship you, even taking shelter of Guru, same idea. Ultimately, you and I are one. You are no better than me. Right now, because I am under illusion, so I need your help. But once I come out of this, you and I are same. There's no difference. Just kick. With this intention, they study Bhagavatam, they worship the deity, they perform arti. But when you see from outside, you'll think, oh, they have so much devotion, so nicely they are doing regulative, right? Regularly, with regulation, they're doing all worship and so much sadhanas they are doing. But what is their goal? I'll become one with him. Now I'm in trouble right now. I need to get out of this trouble. That's why I'm doing this. After that, we are one. So there's no love there, absolutely, right? So that is Mayavad philosophy. So it's not that they don't worship. That's why I was explaining that. They also worship, they also study Bhagavatam and everything. But that's why your intention is important. Motivation, what is your motivation? Whereas about devotees, it is said, Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dridhavrataha namasyantascha mam bhaktya nitya yukta. Nitya means what? Eternal. Nitya yukta. Eternally, they want to be engaged in the service of Krishna. This is a devotee's consciousness. Eternally. Eternally means not right now when I'm in this material world and I'm struggling in the ocean. Now I need help, so I'm worshipping you. And in future will become, no. Even after I'm liberated from here, eternally you are my master and I'm your servant. Eternally, forever. I just want to render service to you. There's never a time where now I will become equal with you and I will enjoy with you. Never, never. I will enjoy with you is never there in the heart of a pure devotee. Krishna should enjoy me. Let him enjoy. So if he wants to enjoy me in the spiritual world, he can enjoy me there. And if he gets enjoyment by my doing some service for him in this material world, some other material world, I'm happy. My desire is I should be engaged. This is pure devotional. Nitya yukta. Yukta means what? Engaged, connected to him through devotional service, eternally, in whichever way he wants me to serve. This is pure devotional service. So that is the consciousness of a pure devotee. We are aspiring to get that. I don't have it, but that is where I would like to be, where that's my only desire. How can we get this consciousness? It only comes from a person who has it, from the association of pure devotees, by the mercy of such pure devotees. So then you have to do things which are pleasing to such pure devotees. And uh, of course, their mercy is yadrichaka taya. Yadrichaka means There's no reason why they will give their mercy. It's not that, oh, because you're this, therefore they will give. No, out of their causeless mercy. But still, it is said, if you are, for example, you have a spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada has given us the path. Now, if you are sincerely, dedicatedly trying to follow what Srila Prabhupada has said, Vaishnavas are very, very merciful, right? They want, right? They will certainly shower their mercy. So we can follow whatever has all all that is required from us is our sincerity in purpose, and that determination, right? Shraddha, faith, that this is all I have to do, and keep building it more and more and more. That's all we can do from our side. And actually, in bhakti, we are pulled up from above. That mercy has to come from there, not by, we can simply, you know, we can beg. And only when the mercy comes, then we come to these higher and higher stages of consciousness, right? Where my only desire is Krishna's enjoyment, Krishna's pleasure. And someone who has this type of mentality, he is actually a sannyasi. He is more than a sannyasi. So, a Mayavadi sannyasi is not knowing, okay, once again. Yeah, Ekadandi sannyasis of Mayavad school are not devoted to the service of Krishna. They try to merge into Brahman effulgence, which is a marginal position between material and spiritual existence. What is this Brahman? Brahman is the effulgence. Huh? It has no attributes. No, you cannot make out anything. It's just existence, like that. There's no material pangs, and at the same time, there's no spiritual variety also. It's just existence. This is the marginal position between the material plane and the spiritual existence. Spiritual existence means there are planets, there are, personalities, there is activity, but Brahman is the marginal in between. So those who are Mayavadis or Brahmavadis, their goal is to go and merge into this Brahman. They accept this impersonal position as liberation. Mayavadi sannyasis, not knowing that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a Tridandi, because externally he took sannyas from Advaita school. So, not knowing that Mahaprabhu was a Tridandi, think of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as an Ekadandi sannyasi. This is due to their vivarta. What is vivarta? Bewilderment. Because of their being bewildered, right? Krishna says, Naham prakashah sarvasya yoga maya samavritah mudhoyam nabhijanati. So, Krishna doesn't reveal himself to the foolish and the less intelligent, right? So, therefore, they don't understand Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They think Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is an Ekadandi sannyasi. Why? Why they think like that? Because of their bewilderment, being bewildered by the Maya of the Supreme Lord, Yoga Maya. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there is no such thing as an Ekadandi sannyasi. This was given by Shankaracharya. Srimad Bhagavatam does not talk about Ekadandi sannyas. Indeed, the Tridandi sannyasi is accepted as a symbolic representation of the sannyas order. Sannyas means Tridandi sannyas. By citing this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted the sannyas order recommended in Srimad Bhagavatam. The Mayavadi sannyasis who are enamored of the external energy of the Lord cannot understand the mind of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. To date, all the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu following in his footsteps accept the sannyas order and keep the sacred thread and tuft of unshaved hair. They also keep the sacred thread, right? Sacred thread is accepted by the Brahmanas. Again, the whole idea is I'm a servant of the Supreme Lord, right? You cannot give up your, in Bhagavad Gita we read, sacrifice, right? Yagya, dana, tapa should not be given up, even after you take sannyas. Yagya, So therefore, sacred thread, you still perform the activities, right? Sacrifice activities means sacrifice to the Supreme Lord. Yagya, dana, tapa, tapasya, charity, and yagya. They cannot be stopped even after taking sannyas. It's not that now I've done karma sannyas, I've given up karma, so I won't give charity and I won't do yagya, I won't do tapasya. No, these should be done even after taking sannyas. So the followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they keep their sacred thread and they keep the sikha. The Ekadandi sannyasis of the Mayavadi school give up the sacred thread and do not keep any tuft of hair. So if you see other sannyasis, how do you distinguish between a Mayavadi sannyasi and a Vaishnav sannyasi? Mayavadi sannyasi will not have a sikha. You will see sometimes coming to the temples. In New Vrindavan we used to see. They don't keep, in Mayapur also I see. They come with completely bald and they don't have any tilak also. No tilak, no sacred thread. Just they wear saffron. But Ekadanda Tridandi sannyasis or Vaishnav sannyasis, they keep sikha, they keep their sacred thread and also tilak. That we are servants of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, they are unable. So these Ekadandi Mayavadi sannyasis or Ekadandi sannyasis of the Mayavad school are unable to understand the purport of Tridanda sannyas, and as such, they are not inclined to dedicate their lives to the service of Mukunda. They simply think of merging into the existence of Brahman because of their disgust with material existence. So you may wonder why they even take sannyas, right? Now, what is the purpose? A devotee takes sannyas. He wants to be more like concentrated dedication to the Lord. Now, I'm doing, we saw in the case of Ambarish Maharaj when we were reading, right? At one point, even though he was, dedicated in his grihastha ashram, all other activities just giving up totally 100% only for Krishna, no other obligation like that. Of course, Ambrish Maharaj was not, but just to give a lesson, right? Because it is, right? You have that experience also, isn't it? Like, yes, even if when you have a family, that idea of my people, my family, it doesn't go so easily. There's that hard knot, like this is mine. So just to come out of that, be completely like not just my immediate family is mine, but Vasudeva Kutumbakam. Everyone is a family of the Supreme Lord, and to come to that stage, they leave home, they accept sannyas, and now they see the whole world as their family and engage in the service of the whole world. In what way? By awakening Krishna consciousness. So this is the reason why devotees accept sannyas. Then why do Mayavadis accept sannyas? Because they're disgusted with the material world. Oh, right? Like grapes are sour, Srila Prabhupada says. The fox is trying for grapes and finally it's not able to get, he says, these grapes are sour. Who wants these grapes? So after trying and trying to become happy in this world by various means and getting kicked again and again by Maya, there is no happiness in this world. Reject this world. This is the reason of acceptance of sannyas. But if that is the reason why someone accepts sannyas, there is every chance that they will come back, because that's the nature of the mind. Bhoga tyaga, right? You reject now, and after sometimes again you think it's attractive, you come back to it. So anyway, so the reason for Ekadanda sannyasi, or the reason why Mayavadi, why someone accepts Ekadanda sannyas, they simply think of merging into the existence of Brahman because of their disgust with material existence. The acharyas who advocate the Daiva Varnashram, the social order of Chaturvarnyam mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, do not accept the proposition of Asura Varnashram, which maintains that the social order of Varna is indicated by birth. Yes. So Daiva Varnashram, it is purely meant for pure devotional service. There's Daiva Varnashram, the acharyas who not accept Varnashram also, demoniac Varnashram. What is that? That the Varnas are based on one's birth. That is called Asura Varnashram. The most intimate devotee of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, namely Gadadhar Pandit, accepted Tridanda Sannyas and also accepted Madhava Upadhyay as his Tridandi Sannyasi disciple. It is said that from this Madhavacharya, the Sampradaya known in Western India as the Vallabhacharya Sampradaya has begun. Okay? Mahaprabhu's intimate disciple Gadadhar Pandit accepted Tridanda Sannyas and he initiated one disciple Madhava Upadhyay into Tridandi Sannyas. And from this Madhavacharya, the Sampradaya called Vallabhacharya, which is now known in the Western India, Gujarat, right, has begun. From Madhavacharya, this Vallabhacharya Sampradaya has begun. That means Vallabhacharya Sampradaya is coming from, it has connection with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srila Gopal Bhatta Goswami, who is known as a Smriti Acharya in the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, later accepted the Tridanda Sannyas order from Tridandi Path Prabodhananda Saraswati. Now, who is Prabodhananda Saraswati? So, they are from South India. Gopal Bhatta Goswami, his father is Venkat Bhatta Goswami, Sri Sampradaya, they are from Sri Sampradaya, Ranganath, Sri Rangam. So, Venkata Bhatta's son is Gopal Bhatta, and Venkat Bhatta's brother is Prabodhananda Saraswati, sannyasi. Gopal Bhatta Goswami accepted sannyas from Prabodhananda Saraswati. Okay. Later, he accepted sannyas from Prabodhananda Saraswati. Although acceptance of Tridanda sannyas is not distinctly mentioned in the Gaudiya Vaishnava literature, right? You don't see it distinctly, this acceptance of Tridanda sannyas, because this was actually, it was introduced formally as a system by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Recent, right? Before that, there was no formal sannyas awarded in the Gaudiya Sampradaya. If you see, Gopal Bhatta Goswami took sannyas from where? From Gaudiya Vaishnavas? No, he took from Ramanuja Sampradaya. And also, we see Gadadhar Pandit, right? He accepted sannyas, and that is called the Vallabha. Where did he accept sannyas? Gadadhar Pandit accepted Tridanda sannyas. Because within Gaudiya Vaishnavas, there was no, before Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, there was no awarding of sannyas. They had Babaji Vesh, no sannyas. Babaji means they just, they don't identify themselves as belonging to any order of society. No Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, like the Goswamis. How do they dress? Right? A white loin cloth, that's all, and white upper cloth. That's Babaji. But then there were problems with that, right? People would say, like, immaturely people just accept Babaji Vesh without getting the purification of the heart, and then the mind is running after material sense gratification. So wearing Babaji dress, they are engaging in all types of nonsense, illicit sex and smoking and things like that. So the whole thing was spoiled because there is no rules and regulations. Babaji means you're above all rules and regulations. So no rules and regulations. It's like, we don't have to follow the social customs because we are Babajis. Then in the name of Babajis, you do all nonsense. So therefore, to bring the society back to the system, this Varnashram, Daiva Varnashram system, it has to come into picture. So it was started by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur with the Brahmachari and Sannyas ashrams. Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas ashrams. He started off with the ashrams. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Then our Srila Prabhupada, he started preaching about the Varnas, right? Of course, he said only 50% of my mission is complete. 50% is still remaining. Like I was telling you the other day on Saturday, that There is 4 movements in Srila Prabhupada's mission. First movement is called Sankirtan movement, second is temple entry movement, third is initiation movement, and the fourth movement is called Daiva Varnashram, or a classless society, Daiva Varnashram. So that was not, Srila Prabhupada said this was in the last 5 years of Srila Prabhupada's presence on this earth, he was extensively preaching about the importance of Daiva Varnashram, because we need these rules and regulations to, you know, actually to progress properly, right? So being realistic where I am and how to be regulated, and by this you can transcend Daiva Varnashram system. So here it is said, Srila Prabhupada is saying that our acharyas who advocated Daiva Varnashram. Okay, that we read already. So Gopal Bhatta Goswami is Smriti Acharya, and he accepted Tridandi Sannyas from Prabodhananda Saraswati. Also, acceptance of sannyas is not distinctly mentioned in Gaudiya Vaishnava literature. That's what I was saying. The first verse of Srila Rupa Goswami is Upadeshamrita, nectar of instruction, advocates that one should accept the Tridanda Sannyas order by controlling the 6 forces, right? Vacho vegam, manasah krodha vegam, jihva vegam, udaropastha vegam, etan veganyo vishaheta dhiraha, sarvam apimam, prithivim cha shishyat. One who can control. So it is always about your consciousness. It's not just about the externals, always. What we read before, anashrita karma phalam. Who is a sannyasi? One who is not attached to the fruits of his activities. That is a sannyasi. Not externally, just the dress and, that you go through that ritual and then you're a sannyasi. No. Sannyasi means consciousness. Similarly, here also we are seeing Vacho Vegam, Manasah Krodha Vegam, Jihva Vegam, Udaropastha Vegam. Vacho Vegam, there is a pushing, there is a urge to speak. I cannot keep quiet, I have to keep speaking all the time. Right? This is called Vacho Vegam, the force of speech. Control the force of speech. So what do the other schools, not devotees, non-devotee schools, how do they control the speech? Mauni Baba, I won't say anything. That's not required. Even stones are also Mauni. That doesn't mean they're advanced because they don't say anything. Srila Prabhupada says in one of the purports about the quality of silence, Srila Prabhupada says silence means silence to all nonsense. Don't talk anything nonsense. Don't talk anything which is not related to Krishna consciousness. But if you can talk about Krishna consciousness, you can talk 24 hours non-stop, no problem. And that will be Vacho Vegam. You have controlled your speech. But you have this urge to speak about gossip, about some mundane news or whatever else. Stop. How can you stop? Vishaya vinivarta param drishtva nivartat. Talk about something higher. Talk about Krishna consciousness. Connect. Mundane talk, even if somebody is talking to you, some mundane talk, Srila Prabhupada is very expert at this. But if you're not able to do that, then best is keep quiet at least. If we don't know how to do that, then at least don't talk nonsense yourself. Like that, Vacho Vegam, this is controlling the force of speech. Manasaha, the mind wants to think and plan so many things constantly, it's going on. Controlling the force of the mind. Vacho Vegam, Manasaha, Krodha Vegam, anger. When anger comes, you cannot control. You have to control that anger, or direct that anger towards those who are against Krishna consciousness, like Hanumanji, right? Or Arjun. He was angry. When you fight, you have to be angry. But that anger is used in Krishna's service. Not that you become a victim of anger because you're uncontrolled and you start, just saying so many things. So, like this. So, such a person is a sannyasi, and he not just a sannyasi, he can become a guru of the whole world. Srila Rupa Goswami's first verse of uh, Upadeshamrita. Vacho Vegam, Manasah Krodha Vegam. Again, Jihva Vegam is different. Vacha Vegam is speaking. Jihva means eating, tasting. I want to eat this, I want to eat that. Control. Jihva Vegam. Udara means stomach, right? Uh, Eating, like you want to fill yourself up all the time. Udara. Upastha. Upastha means sex, right? You have to control. It's a straight line. Your mind, your speech, or your speech, actually mind is in the heart. Like we think mind is here, actually mind is in the heart. antakarana. So your speech, your mind, anger, then your taste, stomach, belly, and genitals. They're all in a straight line. So if you control the tongue, everything else becomes controlled, Srila Prabhupada says. So what are the two functions of the tongue? Vibrating, talking, and tasting, eating. So control both. How can you control your talking? By chanting Hare Krishna. Just chant Hare Krishna all the time. Or recite Bhagavad Gita, read Srimad Bhagavatam, like that. So this is controlling the tongue. And what is the other function of the tongue? Eating. So many things, tasting. How can you control? Don't eat anything which is not Krishna Prasadam. That's all. If you do these two things, automatically the whole straight line is controlled. Other things will be controlled. So anyway, talking about sannyas here, Srila Rupa Goswami is saying that etan vegan yo vishaheta dhiraha, one who is a dhira, who is able to control all these urges, sarvam apimam prithivim sa shishyat. He is actually eligible, qualified to make disciples all over the world. So this is the qualification for one to become a guru. He has controlled his speech, his mind. The speech means the urges, right? Of speech, of mind, of anger, of the tongue, of the belly, and of the genitals. One who can control the forces of speech, mind, anger, belly, tongue, and genitals is known as a Goswami. Go means senses, Swami means master. Goswami, he has become the master of his senses and is competent to accept disciples all over the world. The followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never accepted the Mayavad order of sannyas, and for this they cannot be blamed, right? They never accepted, and you cannot blame them for not accepting Mayavad sannyas. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted Sridhar Swami, who was a Tridandi sannyasi, but the Mayavadi sannyasis, not understanding Sridhar Swami, sometimes think that Sridhar Swami belonged to the Mayavad Ekadanda sannyas community. Actually, this was not the case. So Sridhar Swami, is the original commentator on Srimad Bhagavatam. We follow all the other subsequent commentators, right? We have Veera Raghava Acharya, we have Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Jiva Goswami, Sanatan Goswami. Many commentators are there. So, but the first original commentator is Sridhar Swami. Sridhar Swami is from the Advaita school, Shankaracharya school, but he was not a Mayavadi. He was just like Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has accepted sannyas from the Mayavad school, but he was not a Mayavadi. The purpose of his danda is, he by chanting this shloka from Bhagavatam of the Avanti Brahmana, Mahaprabhu is declaring to everyone that within this one danda there are 4 dandas, right? So like that, Sridhar Swami also, even though had accepted the sannyas danda, he was actually a Tridandi sannyasi, not Ekadandi sannyasi. Ekadandi sannyasi means who believes that I am him. That is Ekadanda, we are one. But he was a Tridandi sannyasi. That means he was a great devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But people think that he's also a Mayavadi. And some people think Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also from the Mayavad school. Why his followers don't take sannyas from Mayavad school? No, they don't accept. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also made it clear through this, by reciting this verse after taking sannyas, that he's a Tridandi sannyasi. And similarly, Sridhar Swami is also Tridandi sannyasi. So we will end here. Thank you all so much for staying longer. I wanted to complete this purport, that's why we went long today. Thank you. Hare Krishna. We'll continue.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.